Muses, where everything is awesome and where we talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, guess what? Guess what is awesome? The Fellowship of the Ring. Guess what is even more awesome? J.R.R. Tolkien. What is even more awesome? The Lord of the Rings. What is even more awesome? Everything this man ever wrote is awesome. And I am so glad to see everybody here. And thank you, all of my new subs, all of my new members, etc. Thank you very much for being here. We are going to be going through the breaking of the Fellowship. Why? Well, it's February 26th. That's when the Fellowship breaks. So I'm going to be following the calendar here, and definitely the themes work. Now, I'm sitting there rereading the chapter last night, and then I'm like, darn it, I'm going to have to read the entire work ever again. I don't know how many times I've read this thing, and you're like, I've already read it enough. And then I read this. Now, everyone, I do have a heater going. If it is making noise, please let me know. But let's look who is in the chat. We have none other than your Barmy. Hello. My favorite chapter at the end of the Fellowship movie is one of my favorite part of the movies. Indeed. They do it so well, and they do it properly. Now, when I say properly, I think that it's nice that they ended the movie. They had to end the movie with the whole Boromir thing and the fight with the orcs. Now, we are going to be reading that too, because it's all in the same day. I think Extended Fellowship is probably my favorite movie of the three overall. You know what? I think that the Fellowship of the Ring is probably the best, easily the best. Objectively speaking, it's where they don't have some things where you're just like, really? That was stupid. Why did they put this in? Or where there's some obvious weird cuts where they don't do what they do to the Faramir. Oh, wait, I need to say that a little more coherently. To Faramir. What they do to him. Let's see. Hello, humans and other creatures. Hello. And I want to give a shout out to Sort of Poopus Cooper. He is a muser of House Rose. I'm going to be getting the stickers together. I just need to kidnap my nephew and make him do it for me. But in your Barmy, thank you very much. He gifted a lot of memberships the last time, so thank you for your support. Oh, look, it's me. Woo. So good times. We're going to be going through this. We're going to be reviewing it. And as I told you, I'm going to have to read this book again, The Lord of the Rings. It's so damned good. There is no comparison with this. I get cranky when people try to compare for several reasons, because you can like other works and still think The Lord of the Rings is the greatest work ever, or the greatest fantasy ever. You know, there's great fantasy out there as well to read. Of course, I've been talking a lot about Night of the Seven Kingdoms. That's a great work. So the Dunk and Egg stories, and so is The Wheel of Time. But this is the pinnacle, or as George R.R. Martin calls it, well, he calls it one of the best books ever written. Definitely one of the top 5 in the 20th century, and calls him the master. And this reminds you why Tolkien is the master. He is amazing. Gosh, he's so great. And this book is so good. I'm going to have to start from the beginning after this. I'm just going to have to do that. Well, hello. Everyone is saying hello. Sort of Poopus Cooper says, I just did my annual listen to Lord of the Rings audiobook. Excellent. Yeah. I might have to do that. Well, no, I'm going to have to read it with a book in my hand. I was rereading the chapters, and yes, I think that it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. The, how do I say this? The audiobooks are good. They're fun, and I have listened to them as well, but man, was it good just to reread these chapters. I mean, this man can write. This man is amazing. Oh, boy. All right. Well, previously on The Fellowship of the Ring. Oh, wait. Let me get to these comments. I have the audiobooks to snort. I'll put them on sometimes when I go to sleep. Yes, they're very, very relaxing. Look who's here. It is PJO 1961. Hello. And yes, Miss Martin with the muses. Thank you. Hello. Oh, gosh. I'm going to start singing the hello song that I do with my little kids. No, I will not torture you all with that. But there is a purpose to it all. But previously on The Fellowship of the Ring. 3 rings for the elven kings under the sky, 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone, 9 for mortal men doomed to die, rather, 1 for the dark lord on his dark throne, and the land of Mordor where the shadows lie, 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. So, We learn back in the day, this is from the official synopsis. Gandalf the Grey discovered that the ring possessed by Frodo the Hobbit was in fact the One Ring, ruler of all the rings of power. We had Frodo, I'm skipping here, running away with his companions from the quiet shire of their home, pursued by the terror of the Black Riders of Mordor, until at last, with the aid of Aragorn, the Ranger of Eriador, I hope I said that right, they came through desperate perils to the house of Elrond in Rivendell. There was held the great council of Elrond, at which it was decided to attempt the destruction of the ring, and Frodo was appointed the ring bearer. The companions of the ring were then chosen, who were to aid him in his quest, to come, if he could, to the mountain of fire in Mordor, the land of the enemy himself, where alone the ring could be unmade. How convenient. Or inconvenient. In this fellowship were Aragorn and Boromir, the son of the Lord of Gondor, representing men, Legolas, son of the Elven King of Mirkwood, for the elves, Gimli, son of Gloin of the Lonely Mountain, for the dwarves, Frodo, with his servant Samwise, and his two young kinsmen, Meriadoc and Peregrine, for the hobbits, and Gandalf the Grey, for what? I guess wizard representation. Speaking of which, actually, the definitive work, if you want to read it, in my humble opinion, is from Tom Shippey, the definitive scholarly work on why Tolkien is the best ever. It's called Author of the Century. Read it, love it. The companions journeyed in secret far from Rivendell in the north, until baffled in their attempt to cross the high pass of Caradras, I hope I said that right, they were led by Gandalf through the hidden gate and entered the vast mines of Moria, seeking a way beneath the mountains. There, Gandalf, in battle with a dreadful spirit of the underworld, fell into a dark abyss. But Aragorn, now revealed as the hidden heir of the ancient kings of the West, led the company on from the east gate of Moria, through the elvish land of Lorien, down the great river Anduin, until they came to the Falls of Rauros. Already, they had become aware that their journey was watched by spies, and that the creature Gollum, who once had possessed the ring and still lusted for it, were following their trail. It now became necessary for them to decide whether they should turn east to Mordor or should go on with Boromir to the aid of Minas Tirith, chief city of Gondor, in the coming war, or should divide. That is where we begin this story. It's saying, don't spread yourself too thin. Who's spreading thin? Maybe I don't know. It's hard when everyone wants to stream at the same time. Oh, I see. I know. Well, hey, I do my best, but I try not to go back, stream over people, but it's really hard. I would never stream. And I think I know what you're talking about. And usually this is not a streaming time. So I don't know. Do the best that you can. Do the best that you can. And like I said, I'm glad that if you're here. I'm glad if everyone is here. But indeed. So let's read it. The Fellowship of the Ring. The breaking of the Fellowship. Read highlights, and we're going to be reviewing it. Though, spoiler alert, it's going to be a 50 out of 10. So, off Frodo goes. He asks for an hour. What should I do? Should we go to Minas Tirith? What does it say? Shall we turn west with Boromir and go to the wars of Gondor, or turn east to the fear and shadow? Or shall we break our fellowship and go this way and that, as each may choose? So Frodo's all, give me an hour longer, and I will speak. Let me be alone. Aww. Or Aragorn looked at him with kindly pity. Very well, Frodo, son of Drogo. You shall have an hour, and you shall be alone. Frodo sat for a moment with his head bowed. Sam, who had been watching his master with great concern, shook his head and muttered, plain as a pikestaff it is, but it's no good Sam Gamgee putting in his spoke just now. Presently Frodo got up and walked away. And Sam saw that while the others restrained themselves and did not stare at him, the eyes of Boromir followed Frodo intently. Dun, dun, dun. That's where multiple screens come in handy. Oh, yes, indeed. Well, and again, I welcome it, and I'm very happy for you all. Very happy for you all. And rather, very happy that you are doing so. And I do appreciate your support. I really, really do. Let me see. Let me bring this up here. Yeah. Well, and like I said, we all change our schedules. It's just the way it is. To quote Red Dead Redemption 2. Wandering aimlessly at first in the wood, Frodo found that his feet were leading him up toward the slopes of the hill. Poor Frodo. I mean, you really feel the burden that he has, and we have the foreshadowing of Boromir. What's going to happen? He's climbing here and there, and it's like he's saying he doesn't care where he went until he came to a grassy place. Rowan trees grew about it, and in the midst was a wide, flat stone. The little upland lawn was open upon the east, and was filled now with early sunlight. Frodo halted and looked out over the river far below him to Tol Brandir, and the birds wheeling in the great gulf of air between him and the untrodden isle. The voice of Rauros was a mighty roaring mingled with a deep throbbing boom. Yeah, that's the river. Oh, well, thank you, Snortopoopas Cooper. I do appreciate that. Yeah, so when they're up there on the top of that big hill at Amon Hen, you can see like everything, and we're gonna kind of have some seriously tripping out in a second when we do that. So poor little Frodo. He sat down upon the stone and cupped his chin in his hand, staring eastward, but seeing little with his eyes. All that had happened since Bilbo left the Shire was passing through his mind, and he recalled and pondered everything that he could remember of Gandalf's words. Time went on, and still he was no nearer to a choice. Everything can see you, indeed. Suddenly he awoke from his thoughts. A strange feeling came to him that something was behind him, that unfriendly eyes were upon him. He sprang up and turned, but all that he saw to his surprise was Boromir, and his face was smiling and kind. So we still have the foreshadowing that all is not well with Boromir, but he's kind and everything. And even though Frodo's feeling danger, and Spidey sense is going off, it's Boromir. We love Boromir. What's the problem? I do not know. I do not know indeed. I was afraid for you, Frodo. If Aragorn is right and orcs are near, then none of us should wander alone, and you least of all. So much depends on you. And my heart is too heavy. May I stay now and talk for a while since I have found you? It would comfort me. Where there are so many, all speech becomes a debate without end. That is true. No time to discuss this in committee. But two together may perhaps find wisdom. You are kind, answered Frodo, but I do not think that any speech will help me, for I know what I should do. But I am afraid of doing it, Boromir. Afraid. So he's bearing his soul to Boromir here. I almost said Boromir. Oh, my man. He's my favorite character, obviously. Boromir stood silent. Rauros roared endlessly on. The wind murmured in the branches of the trees. Frodo shivered. Suddenly, Boromir came and sat beside him. Are you sure that you do not suffer needlessly? I wish to help you. You need counsel in your hard choice. Will you not take mine? I think I know already what counsel you would give, Boromir, said Frodo, and it would seem like wisdom, but for the warning of my heart. Yeah, they used this dialogue pretty much in the movie, didn't they? Snortopoopas Cooper says, besides Faramir said I needed to watch this. And I always listen to Faramir. Well, good for you. I listen to him as well. My favorite character. And the one that Tolkien said was closest to him. Faramir. I don't know. It's just, It's very interesting. The way they pronounce it in the movie is Faramir, so I kinda went there, but Faramir, Either way, he's my man. "Warning? Warning against what?" said Boromir sharply. "See how subtly the language is changing? We're feeling something creeping upon us that's not gonna be okay. Against delay, against the way that seems easier, against refusal of the burden that is laid on me, against, well, if it must be said, against trust in the strength and truth of men." Yeah, it'd be easier for him to just give up. So much easier. Just walk away. And the way that is easiest is always the widest, easy to choose. He's talking about his, he's not trusting men. Yet that strength has long protected you far away in your little country, though you knew it not. That is a very good point. The strength of men were protecting the Shire, they just didn't know it. And as we see with the scouring of the Shire, this is going to be an issue. But at the very end, "I do not doubt the valor of your people, but the world is changing. The walls of Minas Tirith may be strong, but they are not strong enough. If they fail, what then?" Well, way to go to feed into Boromir's greatest fear. "We shall fall in battle valiantly." Little you know, Boromir. "Yet there is still hope that they will not fail." "No hope while the ring lasts," says Frodo. "Ah, the ring. Here we go," said Boromir, his eyes lighting. "The ring! Is it not a strange fate that we should suffer so much fear and doubt for so small a thing? So small a thing. And I have seen it only for an instant in the house of Elrond. Could I not have a sight of it again? Danger! Danger zone." Well, look who it is. It is Salty Traveling Sea. Happy freaking Thursday with a cup of coffee. Thank you very much. I have coffee here too. Decaf, of course. And thank you, Salty Traveling Sea. He is also a muser of House Rose, one of my members. Yeah, whenever anyone just casually goes, "Oh, I'm just minding my own business. Can I just have a look at the ring?" Run away. Frodo looked up. His heart went suddenly cold. Oh, he knows. We were just waiting for it. He caught the strange gleam in Boromir's eyes, yet his face was still kind and friendly. "It is best that it should lie hidden," he answered. "As you wish, I care not," said Boromir. "Yeah, right. Yet may I not even speak of it? For you seem ever to think only of its power in the hands of the enemy, of its evil uses, not of its good." Having just been through Ash Wednesday and the Sunday readings, boy, does this look like the temptation in the desert. And as we know, not a lot of these things are not coincidences. No, something very reasonable. It's reasonable. Or is it? "The world is changing, you say. Minas Tirith will fall if the ring lasts. But why? Certainly, if the ring were with the enemy. But why if it were with us?" He's making so much sense. Oh, look, we have Salt in here. Red alert, red alert, red alert. Yes, yes, we love our animals here at Miss Martin Muses. "Were you not at the council?" answered Frodo. "Because we cannot use it, and what is done with it turns to evil." Indeed, you cannot ever do evil to do good. It will destroy you. Boromir got up and walked about impatiently. "So you go on," he cried. Gandalf, Elrond, all these folks have taught you to say so. For themselves, they may be right. These elves and half elves and wizards, they would come to grief perhaps. Yet often I doubt if they are wise and not merely timid. Ooh, he's calling them cowards. But each to his own kind. True hearted men, they will not be corrupted. Hmm. Yeah, your Barmy, very good point. I'm kind of feeling Boromir's position here. I mean, I am too. He's making complete sense. He is doing what is absolutely right, but also absolutely wrong. He is such. We of Minas Tirith have been staunch through long years of trial. We do not desire the power of wizard lords, only strength to defend ourselves, strength in a just cause. And behold, this is the kind of language that they would not have gotten away with in the movie. Behold, in our need, chance brings to light the ring of power. It is a gift, I say, a gift to the foes of Mordor. It is mad not to use it, to use the power of the enemy against him. The fearless, the ruthless, these alone will achieve victory. What could not a warrior do in this hour, a great leader? What could not Aragorn do? Or if he refuses, why not Boromir? The ring would give me power of command. How I would drive the hosts of Mordor, and all men would flock to my banner. All right. So we're really getting reasonable here, as some people are saying, yes. And he's going though from we're gonna do it for men, and all of a sudden he's like, men will flock to my banner. He's already showing how the ring corrupts. Suddenly it's all about him. Yeah. All right. Do you and oh well, look who it is. It's Nordporiel. Sorry, I just cut you there. I'm in this spell, and I'll tell you what. I'm gonna have to read the whole on series now. I was just gonna read from here to through the Two Towers, so getting to the Return of the King on March 25th, the solemnity of the incarnation of the Lord, because that is when it is destroyed. And now I'm like, I'm gonna have to go back and start the whole book again. Why do you do this to me, J.R. Tolkien? Yes, thank you, Nordporiel. You are a member of House Rose. Thank you very much. Oops, lots of comments. Okay, I want to get to y'all. Do you still envision Book Boromir as Sean Bean? Pretty much. That is the pleasantness and the dangers of the movies. It does get into your brain. I do. Especially since so many of these lines were said by him, but in different parts. Yeah. Everyone's saying hello. It is Archer Collins 6339. I am so trying to get to the Battle of Agincourt. So everyone sub so I can talk about that. Right now, I'm only excited about getting to 1200. I'm almost there where I can talk about the founding of the University of Paris because that's what all the cool people do. Morning, afternoon, really have to rewatch Lord of the Movies again. Yeah, read the books. I mean, this whole thing is going to make me have to do it again. Let's see. Nordporiel says, I do not envision Book Aragorn, though, since he is a totally different character. Yeah, he's very different, isn't he? Physically, though, oh, yes. But I'm a woman, so I'll accept that. Nordporiel says, it is a shame they did not have Christopher Lee and Ian McKellen do the scene in the books where Saruman tempts Gandalf. Instead, we get wizard fight. True. Yes, I agree. This is why I need to reread the whole thing. I hate my life because just reading the first few paragraphs, I'm like, this is just so beautiful. Such a masterpiece. Your Barmy talking to Nordporiel says, when I read, I picture them more like Sean and Vigo than when I was little, like a mix. Yeah. I mean, Boromir is supposed to have dark hair, black hair, and so is my man. I did a fan casting of all of these with who? With Jacob Ironside. My fan casting was the dude from North and South, the guy who played Thorin Oakenshield, and he had black hair, and I found a picture of him in this Robin Hood thing, and he really looks like my Faramir if you were to be going by the books. Everyone's saying hello. We love people saying hello. Yes. And I'm eventually going to do the Henry II. I missed the date of the martyrdom of Thomas Becket for that. Let's see. Archer Collins says, "Do Portier's first Miss Martin Muse's lesser known battle, but very important. We actually captured the French king." Yes, well done. Boromir strode up and down, speaking ever more loudly. He's getting agitated. Almost he seemed to have forgotten Frodo. While his talk dwelt on walls and weapons, he's trying to use human weapons against spiritual means, which never work. And the mustering of men, and he drew plans for great alliances and glorious victories to be. He's seeing himself as renown and all that. He's seeing himself as a king. Oh, wait. I anticipated Boromir. And he cast down Mordor and became himself a mighty king, benevolent and wise. Suddenly he stopped and waved his arms. "And they tell us to throw it away," he cried. "I do not say destroy it. That might be well if reason could show any hope of doing so. It does not. The only plan that is proposed to us is that a halfling should walk blindly into Mordor and offer the enemy every chance of recapturing it for himself. Folly!" Snortipoopus says, "Don't ask who my cast was when I was a mere cub." Well, that'd be cool. Thank you, Richard Armitage. Oh, man. He is my... Is it too much of a chick flick, North and South? Oh, but man, okay. Men, you got a girlfriend, a wife, watch that and take notes. You will have a nice, very lucky night. Nordporial says, I think that Christopher Lee's performance might have been his magnum opus if he did the book version of The Temptation. Saruman of Many Colors was a missed opportunity. True. Yeah, they didn't say that, didn't they? Yeah. I mean, still Christopher Lee stole every single scene he was in. Nordporial says, Teresa, they added more saints to Martin Scorsese's miniseries. Ooh, Thomas Becket and St. Patrick. The Thomas Becket one was interesting if you like politics and if you've seen the old film. Yes. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I know all about Thomas Becket. I mean, he's my man. It's very fascinating, though. It's very fascinating. This is the thing. Sometimes people try to do got use with saints and they're like, well, look at this guy. He wasn't perfect and all that. It's like, no, people aren't saints because of maybe that they were perfect. They're saints because they ran the race and finished well. But saints don't always act like saints. That's why they're so fascinating. We need to talk about that, Nordporial. If you want to do something with that, a stream or something, your channel or mine, let's do that. Because, I mean, it's good. Except for this commentary. I always get mad at the commentary. Archer Collins says, will no one rid me of this turbulent priest? Yes, a case of a generally good king overshadowed by one event, but nothing to do with the Lord of the Rings. So I'll be quiet. Yeah, no worries. Well, no, it is kind of relevant because we're definitely talking about Lord of the Rings, which is a Catholic work. I don't know, maybe because Tolkien said so. It is all connected, and definitely the morality of what you're seeing here is very applicable. Henry II is a very interesting monarch. We totally do, yes. So get in touch with me. At least you get Beckett's name right, to paraphrase a certain engineer, Noah. Oh, yeah. All right. Hopefully they did away with the idea that he was Saxon. Okay, we're going to continue. And they tell us to throw it away. Oh, yeah, folly. I love the way only Tolkien could have things like folly and make it sound cool. Surely you see it, my friend, he said, turning now suddenly to Frodo again. You say that you are afraid. If it is so, the boldest should pardon you. But is it not really your good sense that revolts? No, I am afraid, said Frodo, and that's what makes him very smart. Simply afraid. But I am glad to have heard you speak so fully. My mind is clearer now. Yeah, Boromir, well done. Well done. And yeah, and I don't mind a little bit off topic and stuff because This is not a straight reading of audio reading, obviously, and these commentaries help me to maybe not get in trouble. Um, my mind is clearer now. Then you will come to Minas Tirith, cried Boromir. Like, nope, you weren't paying attention, Boromir. His eyes were shining and his face eager. You misunderstand me, said Frodo. But you will come at least for a while, Boromir persisted. My city is not far now, and is little further from there to Mordor than from here. We have been long in the wilderness. Wilderness. And you need news of what the enemy is doing before you make a move. Yeah, the enemy. That's how they refer to Sauron. Come with me, Frodo. You need rest before your venture, if go you must. He laid his hand on the hobbit's shoulder in friendly fashion, but Frodo felt the hand trembling with suppressed excitement. Boromir, the necessary evil. Yeah? Scotty and TNG, no bloody AB. For some reason, Beckett often gets called Thomas A. Beckett. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, back then they barely had middle names, and they all spoke French. So it would really be like, will no one rid me of this turbulent priest in French? Frodo is at this point like, I see the game. I see this guy's losing it. I'm going to start avoiding him now. And he's looking at him with alarm, noting that he's a very tall man, nearly twice his height and many times his match in strength. Yeah, he cannot fight against him. It is One Punch Man Tolkien fan. Yay, we got a Tolkien fan here. Yes. Well, everyone here is a Tolkien fan here at Miss Martin Muses. Otherwise, you will all be ejected. No. It's okay to not like Tolkien, but not okay. He's the best. Oh my gosh. North Pole wants to attend Latin Mass. I can see if there are any in Chicagoland. Yeah, I'll look it up for you because you want to make sure you don't go to a schismatic one. Hail, Miss Martin Muses. Why, hello there. 07. Yeah, everyone's saying hello, hello. Everyone, thank you for being here. It is so good to see people here, and this really helps me out. First of all, this is helping me out mentally because got issues going on. Not with me. I'm fine. But everyone else seems to be sick, and I think I've talked about my sister going through cancer. But yeah. And the memberships, I've been really humbled by all the memberships. I guess I underestimated. So and I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have underestimated how cool my viewers are, but I was humbled. Maybe that's a better word, and I thank you all for it. Nah, you like Tolkien or you get an MRI. Yikes. But yeah, he can't fight off Boromir. Hell, a normal-sized man who's a warrior would have trouble. Why are you so unfriendly? Said Boromir. He's almost being manipulative, isn't he? I am a true man, neither thief nor tracker. I need your ring, that you now know. But I give you my word that I do not desire to keep it. Uh-huh. Will you not at least let me make trial of my plan? Lend me the ring. Yeah, that's going to go well. I love it. He's bargaining. He's doing everything. But isn't it interesting how he slowly comes from, I'm being Mr. Reasonable. I've seen my cat do this. When he's going to try to make a go at what I'm eating, for example, if I'm ever eating fish, where I always have to eat fish outside, he'll just be like sitting on the couch far away. He'll kind of move closer. I'm just casually sitting here, start to lick his paws. And then as he gets closer and starts creeping, it's like, dude, I know what you're doing. That's what Boromir is doing, but a little more subtly. And slowly but slowly, we're getting to where he is. He's going to take it. He is not being reasonable. Boromir is projecting, yet manipulative. Boromir, yeah, you're Barmy. Boromir will give you an IOU for the ring. That's a meme waiting to happen. Ooh. No, no, cried Frodo. The council laid it upon me to bear it. It is by our own folly that the enemy will defeat us, cried Boromir. How it angers me! Fool! Obstinate fool! How dare you talk to Frodo like that? Running willfully to death and ruining our cause. Yeah, it's all Frodo's fault. It's not the bad guy, evil Sauron. If any mortals have claim to the ring, it is the men of Numenor and not halflings. He's sort of right there. If you are the Son of God, turn these stones into bread. It is not yours, save by unhappy chance. It might have been mine. It should be mine. Give it to me. Frodo did not answer, but moved away till the great flat stone stood between them. Oh, he's being a little bit strategic. Come, come, my friend, said Boromir in a softer voice. Why not get rid of it? Why not be free of your doubt and fear? He's taking another tactic now. You can lay the blame on me. Actually, that could be cool. If you will. You can say that I was too strong and took it by force. He's giving Frodo an out here. For I am too strong for you, halfling. Uh-oh. Suddenly went to menacing. Suddenly he sprang over the stone and leaped at Frodo. His fair and pleasant face was hideously changed. A raging fire was in his eyes. Wow. So he went from Mr. Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde pretty fast. Reminds me of that scene in the movie, the way they did it with the jump scare with Bilbo. But it is accurate. Your Barmy says, think about this. Boromir at this time is 41 and Frodo is 50. Yeah, you're right. Frodo is older than he is. But he's smaller. Frodo dodged aside and again put the stone between them. There was only one thing he could do. Don't do it, but he does. Trembling, he pulled out the ring upon its chain and quickly slipped it on his finger, even as Boromir sprang at him again. Yeah, I like the whole sprang at him. He's like a roaring lion, like an animal after its prey. The man gasped. Yeah, it's no longer Boromir. It is the man with the capital M. Stared for a moment, amazed, and then ran wildly about, seeking here and there among the rocks and trees. Miserable trickster, he shouted, let me get my hands on you. Now I see you're mine. You will take the ring to Sauron and sell us all. You have only waited your chance to leave us in the lurch. Curse you and all halflings to death and darkness. Then catching his foot on a stone, he fell sprawling and lay upon his face. For a while, he was as still as if his own curse had struck him down. Then suddenly, he wept. They did a very good job of this in the movie, in my humble opinion. Sure feels like the fellowship broke up. Yeah, that's why it's the breaking of the fellowship. Yeah, February 26th. For all who celebrate. Archer Collins says, counter argument. Humans, elves, and dwarves had rings made for him where the hobbits did not. So maybe he has more right to the unassigned ring. Yes, from a certain point of view. Agreed. Sean Bean is a goat. Yeah, he did a great job. He rose, Boromir, and passed his hands over his eyes, dashing away the tears. Oh, he's crying. I want to hug him. What have I said? He cried. What have I done? Frodo, Frodo, he called. Come back. A madness took me. But it is past. Come back. And it's true. A madness did take him. Money, power will do that. How many times have we seen that? There was no answer. Frodo did not even hear his cries. He was already far away, leaping blindly up the path to the hilltop. Terror and grief shook him, seeing in his thought the mad, fierce face of Boromir and his burning eyes. Yeah, he's seeing how truly dangerous a position he is in, and not necessarily from Sauron. Beware, corrupted man. And now he's up at the top of Amon Hen, and it says, he saw as through a mist a wide, flat circle paved with mighty flags, and surrounded with a crumbling battlement, and in the middle, set upon 4 carven pillars, was a high seat, reached by a stair of many steps. Up he went and sat upon the ancient chair, feeling like a lost child that had clambered upon the throne of mountain kings. Yeah, so he got up on that big chair of Amun Hen. Yeah, definitely nerd. Yeah. Nerdporial says, I enjoy A Song of Ice and Fire and parts of Wheel of Time, but the writing of The Lord of the Rings and Tolkien trumps both Martin and even Jordan. Oh, easily. Easily. And both writers agree, though Jordan, of course, is no longer with us. Yeah. It's like, all right, you're having a darned good sirloin steak. I mean, a really, really good one. And then a filet mignon, the perfect filet mignon comes out. And then you're like, yeah, I liked that sirloin. I really like that sirloin. But my gosh, that filet mignon. Tolkien is a filet mignon. He's a filet mignon with a 1946 Burgundy. I actually got to taste it. Best wine I've ever had in my life. All right. Okay. He seemed to be in a world of mist in which there were only shadows. Yeah, that's what it's like when he has the ring. The ring was upon him. Then here and there the mist gave way and he saw many visions. Oh boy. See, it's going to make you mad. As in crazy. Small and clear, yet remote. There was no sound, only bright, living images. The world seemed to have shrunk and fallen silent. He was sitting upon the seat of seeing on Amun Hen, the hill of the Eye of Men of Numenor. Eastward he looked into wide uncharted lands, nameless plains, forests unexplored. North he looked, and the great river lay like a ribbon beneath him, and the misty mountains, stood small and hard as broken teeth. Westward he looked and saw the broad pastures of Rohan, and Orthanc, the pinnacle of Isengard, like a black spike. Hello. Noodle Man. Hey, great to see you again. Yeah, enjoyed discussion that we had yesterday with the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I will be continuing with that. Sacrificial goat in many cases. Oh, yeah. That's a very, very good play on words there about Sean Bean. Your Barmy says Tolkien is truly the master of words, like the Dark Lord of Words. I was going to go with Kobe beef. Well, whatever you like. We ride for Rohan. Would appreciate that. Let's see. Am I missing something? Yes, we ride for Rohan. Indeed, we do. Oh, I see there. I see what you're saying. Okay, good times. So we saw Isengard. Southward he looked, and below his feet the great river curled like a toppling wave and plunged over the falls of Rauros into a foaming pit. Yeah, we're going to see something with that. Oh, a glimmering rainbow played upon the fume. And Ether Anduin he saw the mighty delta of the river, myriads of seabirds whirling like a white dust in the sun. But everywhere he looked, he saw signs of war. The misty mountains were crawling like ant hills. Orcs were issuing out of 1,000 holes. Under the boughs of Mirkwood there was deadly strife of elves and men and fell beasts. The land of the mornings was aflame, a cloud over Moria. Smoke rose on the borders of Lorien. Time to nap. Take care of you, human. Yes, you enjoy. I might nap later too. I don't know. I'm going to be flying out tonight though, so we'll see. Horsemen were galloping on the grass of Rohan. Wolves poured from Isengard. From the havens of Harad, ships of war put out to sea. Man, it's like a world war almost. Swordsmen, spearmen, bowmen, chariots of chieftains. All the power of the Dark Lord was in motion. Then turning south again, he beheld Minas Tirith. Far away it seemed, and beautiful, white-walled, many-towered, proud and fair upon its mountain seat. Its battlements glittered with steel, and its turrets were bright with many banners. Hope leaped in his heart. But against Minas Tirith was set another fortress, greater and more strong. Thither eastward, unwilling, his eye was drawn. It passed the ruined bridges of Osgiliath, the grinning gates of Minas Morgul and the haunted mountains, and it looked upon Gorgoroth, the valley of terror in the land of Mordor. Darkness lay there under the sun. Fire glowed amid the smoke. Mount Doom was burning, and a great reek rising. Then at last his gaze was held, wall upon wall, battlement upon battlement, black, immeasurably strong, mountain of iron, gate of steel, tower of adamant. He saw it. Barad-dûr, fortress of Sauron. All hope left him. Yeah, the ring will drive you mad. Oh, hope. I mean, I would lose hope if I saw all that. Noodleman says, funny enough, I started by watching The Lord of the Rings before The Hobbit when I was a kid. My fave is Gandalf the Grey and White. A lot of this is great foreshadowing, says Your Barmy, of what we will experience in the next 2 books. Darn right it is. Good stuff. And suddenly he felt the eye. There was an eye in the dark tower that did not sleep. He knew that it had become aware of his gaze. A fierce, eager will was there. It leaped towards him, almost like a finger he felt it searching for him. Very soon it would nail him down, know just exactly where he was. Amon-Lât touched. It glanced upon Tol Brandir. He himself knew from the seat, crouching, covering his head with his gray hood. Ain't gonna keep you from him. He heard himself crying out, never, never. Or was it, verily I come to you? He could not tell. Yikes, that's scary. That he equally saw himself submitting to Sauron and resisting him. Check this out. Then, as a flash from some other point of power, I wonder what that is. There came to his mind another thought. Take it off, fool, take it off, take off the ring. Some other point of power telling him the right thing to do, that he had to take off the ring. The 2 powers strove in him. We've got 2 powers now at work. For a moment, perfectly balanced between their piercing points, he writhed, tormented. Suddenly, he was aware of himself again. Frodo, neither the voice nor the eye, free to choose, and with one remaining instant in which to do so. Free will. He took the ring off his finger. He was kneeling in a clear sunlight before the high seat. A black shadow seemed to pass like an arm above him. It missed Amon-Hen and groped out west and faded. How close was it? Oh boy, that's scary. Then all the sky was clean and blue, and birds sang in every tree. Yay! Archer Collins says, I actually read Lord of the Rings when I was a teenager, but Ollie, I've never read The Hobbit. You might enjoy it. It's different, obviously. Someone recently back in Lothlorien. Could be. Though, when you're talking about this power that sometimes seeps in every now and then, we're talking about God. That there is Eru playing a role in this, but very subtly. That's my reading of it. Frodo rose to his feet. A great weariness was on him, but his will was firm and his heart lighter. I will do now what I must. This at least is plain. The evil of the ring is already at work, even in the company, and the ring must leave them before it does more harm. I will go alone. Some I cannot trust, and those I can trust are too dear to me. Poor old Sam, Merry, and Pippin. Strider, too. His heart yearns for Minas Tirith, and he will be needed there. Now Boromir has fallen into evil. I will go alone at once. Yes, that's what I think, because you're talking about 2 opposing powers. And Gandalf is not the source of the power. I thought it was Gandalf the White. That's my opinion. I mean, I don't know if there's a definitive reading on it. Tolkien doesn't like to come out necessarily and say it. There are some times in his letters where he does. I'm gonna have to double check that. I don't think there's necessarily a wrong reading of it, but that is how I see it. That's what it seems to me. Let's see. He went quickly down the path and came back to the lawn where Boromir had found him. There he halted, listening. He thought he could hear cries and calls from the woods. People are coming they're trying to find him. And he goes, "What can I do? Oh man, I've been away hours." So this took a very long time. "I must go now or I shall never go. I shan't get a chance again. I hate leaving them and like this without any explanation. But surely they will understand. Sam will." We're going to see about that. Slowly he drew out the ring and put it on once more. He vanished and passed down the hill, less than a rustle of the wind. Meanwhile, they're all like, "Okay, we're sitting here waiting for, what's going to happen. What's Frodo going to say?" They're talking about to Aragorn, like, "Hey man, tell us a little bit about Gondor and its history. Yay, good times." But always their thoughts and words strayed back to Frodo and the ring. What would he choose? "He's debating which course is the most desperate, I think," said Aragorn. Yeah. And Aragorn is pointing out that since Gollum is on their track, they don't have a lot of time. It says, "But Minas Tirith is no nearer to the fire and the destruction of the burden with a capital B. We may remain there," he's talking about Minas Tirith, "for a while and make a brave stand, but the Lord Denethor and all his men cannot hope to do what even Elrond said was beyond his power. Either keep the burden secret or hold off the full might of the enemy when he comes to take it. Which way would any of us choose in Frodo's place?" And now indeed we miss Gandalf the most. And they're talking about how awful it was that they lost Gandalf. And Legolas is like, "I would vote for Minas Tirith." "So would I," said Gimli. But he's also saying, "I won't leave Frodo behind. If Frodo doesn't want to do that, then I'm going to stick with Frodo." And so does Legolas say that. And Aragorn's like, "Yeah, it would be a betrayal if we all left him. But, on the other hand, but if he goes east, then all not need go with him. Nor do I think that all should." He doesn't think they all should go. "If you would let me choose, then I would appoint 3 companions, Sam, who could not bear it otherwise, and Gimli and myself. Boromir will return to his own city, where his father and his people need him, and with him the others should go, or at least Merry and Pippin, Miradoc and Peregrine, if Legolas is not willing to leave us." "That won't do at all," said Merry. "We can't leave Frodo." Oh boy. "It would be mad and cruel to let Frodo go to Mordor. Why can't we stop him?" "We must stop him," said Pippin. So they're sitting there arguing. And then Sam is like, "I don't think you understand my master at all. He isn't hesitating about which way to go. Of course not. What's the good of Minas Tirith anyway to him? I mean, begging your pardon, Master Boromir." And at that point, they look around. Wait, where is Boromir? "He's been a bit queer lately to my mind, but anyway, he's not in this business. He's off to his home. No blame to him, but Mr. Frodo, he knows he's got to find the cracks of doom if he can, but he's afraid. Now it's come to the point he's just plain terrified. That's where his trouble is. Sam knows him better than anybody else." Ah. "He's still too frightened to start, and he isn't worrying about us either. He knows we mean to go with him. That's another thing that's bothering him. He wants to go alone, mark my words." "I believe you speak more wisely than any of us, Sam. What shall we do if you prove right?" "Stop him! Don't let him go." And Aragorn's like, "Well, he is the bearer." Oh boy, so they're sitting there talking, they're sad. Finally, Boromir reappears. He's looking all grim, etc. Yeah, because he just screwed up big time. "Where have you been, Boromir? Have you seen Frodo?" And Boromir's like, "Yeah, yes and no," he answered slowly. "I spoke to him. I urged him to come to Minas Tirith and not to go east. I grew angry and he left me." He's not lying, but you know what? He's not necessarily telling the truth. He vanished. I've never seen such a thing happen before, though I have heard it in tales. Is that all you have to say? Looking hard and not too kindly at Boromir. Yes, he answered. I will say no more yet. This is bad, cried Sam, jumping up. I don't know what this man has been up to. Why should Frodo have put this thing on? And then they're all arguing, we gotta go get Frodo. And Aragorn's like, no, stop. But by this point, a sudden panic or madness seemed to have fallen onto the company. And so Aragorn's groaning, oh man, now we're going to be all scattered. Boromir, I do not know what part you played in this mischief, but help now. Go after those two young hobbits and guard them at the least, even if you cannot find Frodo. Little he knows what he was sending Boromir to. Boromir, yes, Aragorn has his own conflict of needing to return to Gondor. Yes, that is correct. Hello, everybody. Let's see. By the way, Teresa, I started on Red Dead Redemption 2. Good. You and Stieg and Salty and a few others have overwhelmed me into giving it a second try. Indeed, as it should. And then Aragorn's, come with me, Sam. There's mischief about. I'm going to the top to the seat of Amon Hen to see what must be seen. Follow me and keep your eyes open. He sped up the path. Sam did his best, but he could not keep up with Strider the Ranger and soon fell behind. And Aragorn is now out of sight. And then he's talking to himself, man, my legs are too short. And he's like, use your head. Boromir isn't lying. That's not his way. But he hasn't told us everything. Something scared Mr. Frodo badly. He made up his mind at mass to go. Where to? Off east? Not without Sam. Not without Sam? Yes, even without his Sam. That's hard. Cruel hard. Steady. Think. He's got no gear. He's going back to the boats. Back to the boat, Sam, like lightning. And he runs off and he's seeing like this invisible ghost pushing this boat, sliding along the bank all by itself. And with a shout, Sam raced across the grass. I'm going to cry. The boat slipped into the water. Not really. The only time I always cry is whenever I read the part when Frodo's crawling around up Mount Dew. Coming, Mr. Frodo, coming, called Sam, and he flung himself from the bank, clutching at the departing boat. He missed it by a yard. With a cry and a splash, he fell face downward into deep, swift water. This is dangerous. Gurgling, he went under, and the river closed over his curly head. An exclamation of dismay came from the empty boat, and Frodo goes and pulls him up by the hair. Ouch. Up you come, Sam, my lad. Now take my hand. Save me, Mr. Frodo. I'm drowned. I can't see your hand. Here it is. Don't pinch, lad. I won't let you go. Oh, tread water and don't flounder, or you'll upset the boat. There now, get hold of the side and let me use the paddle. And Frodo drags the boat back to the bank, with Sam is able to scramble out, wet as a water rat. Frodo took off the ring and stepped ashore again. What do we say here? It's the ring, right? Says Yorbarmy, affecting them all into panic, do you think? Yeah, I think it's definitely a lot of it. It's all infecting him. This scene is so good in the movies. Indeed it is, in the music. Of all the confounded nuisances, you are the worst, Sam. Oh, Mr. Frodo, that's hard. That's hard. Trying to go without me and all. If I hadn't guessed aright, where would you be now? Safely on my way. Safely, said Sam. All alone and without me to help you? I couldn't have borne it. It's been the death of me. It would be the death of you to come with me, Sam, said Frodo, and I certainly could not have borne that. Not as certain as being left behind, said Sam, but I am going to Mordor. I know that well enough, Mr. Frodo. Of course you are. And I'm coming with you. Now, Sam, said Frodo, don't hinder me. The others will be coming back any minute. If they catch me here, I shall have to argue and explain. I shall never have the heart or chance to get off. But I must go at once. It's the only way. Of course it is, answered Sam, but not alone. I'm coming too, or neither of us is going. I'll knock holes in all the boats first. Sam, the MVP. At least Sam didn't step on a broken piece of glass unlike Sean Astin. Oh, yeah, that just hurts thinking about it. Frodo actually laughed. I maybe would have laughed too. A sudden warmth and gladness touched his heart. Leave one, we'll need it. but you can't come like this without your gear or food or anything." And Sam's like, "Okay." So he runs back, gets his gear. "So all my plan is spoilt," said Frodo. "It's no good trying to escape you. But I'm glad, Sam. I cannot tell you how glad. Come along. It's plain we were meant to go together. We will go, and may the others find a safe road. Strider will look after them. I don't suppose we shall see them again. Yet we may, Mr. Frodo. We may," said Sam. So Frodo and Sam set off on the last stage of the quest together. The roar of the great falls drew nearer, even with such help as Sam could give. It was hard work to pass across the current at the southward end of the island. At length they came to land again upon the southern slopes. There they found a shelving shore, and they drew the boat out. Then they hid it behind some rocks, and then, shouldering their burdens, they set off, seeking a path that would lead them over the gray hills of Emmanuel and down into the land of shadow. Ooh. And that ends the breaking of the fellowship chapter. That ends the Fellowship of the Ring. But we're going to go into the departure of Boromir because it runs together. Aragorn sped up the hill. Meanwhile, every now and then he built to the ground. Hobbits go light, and their footprints are not easy, even for a ranger to read. But, I read the signs right. Frodo ran up the hilltop. And so he goes up and sits in the big high seat. But the sun seemed darkened and the world dim and remote. He saw nothing save the distant hills. Even as he gazed, his quick ears caught sounds in the woodland below. There were cries, and among them, to his horror, the harsh voices of orcs. Dun, dun, dun. And you are correct the entire time Gollum is watching. Then suddenly, with a deep-throated call, a great horn blew, and the blast of it smote the hills and echoed in the hollows, rising in a mighty shout above the roaring of the falls. "The horn of Boromir!" he cried. "He is in need! Alas, an ill fate is on me this day, and all that I do goes amiss. Where is Sam?" As he ran, the cries came louder, but fainter, and desperately the horn was blowing. And suddenly the horn call ceased. Aragorn raced down the slope, but before he could reach the hill's foot, the sounds died away, and he's looking left and right till at last, the sounds died away. As he turned to the left and ran toward them, they retreated until at last he could hear them no more. Drawing his bright sword and crying, "Elendil, Elendil," he crashed through the trees like a beast. That was me, not Tolkien. A mile, maybe, from Parthgalen, in a little glade not far from the lake, he found Boromir. He was sitting with his back to a great tree as if he was resting. But Aragorn saw that he was pierced with many black feathered arrows. His sword was still in his hand, but it was broken near the hilt. His horn, cloven in two, was at his side. Many orcs lay slain, piled all about him and at his feet. Because he's a hero. Aragorn knelt beside him. Boromir opened his eyes and strove to speak. At last slow words came. "I tried to take the ring from Frodo," he said. "I am sorry. I have paid." And then he's looking at the fallen enemies, and there's 20. Dude slaughtered 20 of them at his feet. "They have gone. The halflings, the orcs have taken them. I think they are not dead. Orcs bound them." And he's closing his eyes wearily. I mean, dude, he's been shot how many times? After a moment, he spoke again. "Farewell, Aragorn. Go to Minas Tirith and save my people. I have failed." "No," said Aragorn, taking his hand and kissing his brow. "You have conquered. Few have gained such a victory. Be at peace. Minas Tirith shall not fail." Boromir smiled. "Which way did they go? Was Frodo there?" said Aragorn. But Boromir did not speak again. Alas, said Aragorn, thus passes the heir of Denethor, lord of the Tower of Guard. This is a bitter end. Now the company is all in ruin. It is I that have failed. What shall I do now? Boromir has laid it on me to go to Minas Tirith, and my heart desires it. But where are the ring and the bearer? How shall I find them and save the quest from disaster? Oh. Your Barmy says this confession to Aragorn in exchange is so good, and Aragorn keeping his secret about trying to take the ring. Good point. He knelt for a while, bent with weeping, still clasping Boromir's hand. So it was that Legolas and Gimli found him. And they're showing that they had all fought. And Legolas is telling him, yeah, there were loads of orcs. We did a whole bunch of fighting. And he said they heard the horn, but too late it seems. I fear you have taken deadly hurt. Boromir is dead, said Aragorn. I am unscathed, for I was not here with him. He fell defending the hobbits while I was away on the hill. They're like, where are they? Where's Frodo? He's like, I don't know. He tells them that he sent Boromir to find Merry and Pippin, but he wasn't sure. He didn't know if Frodo or Sam were with him. And he says, all that I have done today has gone amiss. What is to be done now? First, we must tend the fallen, said Legolas. So first things first. Yay! And they're saying, but we got to be fast because, the orcs are all about and things are going to get bad. And we don't even know where the ring bearer is. And are we to abandon him? Must we not seek him first? An evil choice is now before us. Then let us do first what we must do. I love you, Legolas. First things first. Again, I'll say it again. First things first. And they decide how they're going to bury him. They can't really make a grave and all that. So Aragorn says, then let us lay him in a boat with his weapons and the weapons of his vanquished foes. How badass. We will send him to the falls of Rauros and give him to Anduin. The river of Gondor will take care at least that no evil creature dishonors his bones. Oh, man. And they kind of catch up. They're realizing, oh man, Frodo's gone. And so is Sam, and that we definitely know that that the Merry and Pippin have been taken. And he sees she's black set with red gleams. No orc tools these. They were born by the hobbits. Doubtless the orcs despoiled them, but feared to keep the knives. So they he's looking at things, and that's how he figures out who's gone where, and that Sauron and Saruman was behind him. They say because it has to be Saruman because Sauron does not use elf runes. Neither does he use his right name, nor permit it to be spelt or spoken, so they know that it is Saruman. Saruman has news of our journey. And they're still saying, what can we do? What must we do? And Gimli says, maybe there is no right choice. Archer Khan says, just to show Boromir should have found a good woman and started a family earlier. Yeah, makes you wonder about the heirs. We'll get to that with Denethor. And so taking his axe, the dwarf now cut several branches. These they lashed together with bowstrings and spread their cloaks upon the frame. Upon this rough bier, they carried the body of their companion to the shore, together with such trophies of his last battle as they chose to send forth with him. It was only a short way, and yet they found it no easy task, for Boromir was a man both tall and strong. And then when they get there, they see that it was sometime before they came back paddling two boats swiftly along the shore. "There's a strange tale to tell," said Legolas. "There are only 2 boats upon the bank. Have orcs been there?" And he says, "Nope," and Aragorn is gonna look at that. So that's how he's gonna figure it out. That's what it was. Let's go back to Boromir. Now they laid Boromir in the middle of the boat. The gray hood and elven cloak they folded and placed beneath his head. They combed his long dark hair and arrayed it upon his shoulders. The golden belt of Lorien gleamed about his waist. His helm they set beside him, and across his lap they laid the cloven horn and the hilts and shards of his sword. Beneath his feet they put the swords of his enemies. Yeah, my enemies are beneath my feet. Then, fastening the prow to the stern of the other boat, they drew him out into the water. They rowed sadly along the shore, and turning into swift running channel, they passed the green sword of Parthgallen. The steep sides of Tol Brandir were glowing. It was now mid-afternoon. As they went south, the fume of Rauros rose and shimmered before them, a haze of gold. Oh! The rush and thunder of the falls shook the windless air. Sorrowfully, they cast loose the funeral boat. There Boromir lay, peaceful, restful, gliding upon the bosom of the flowing water. The stream took him while they held their own boat back with their paddles. He floated by them, and slowly his boat departed, wading to a dark spot against the golden light. And then suddenly it vanished. Now, this is what Faramir is going to be seeing, whether a dream or in reality. Rauros word on unchanging. The river had taken Boromir, son of Denethor, and he was not seen again in Minas Tirith, standing as he used to stand upon the white tower in the morning. But in Gondor and after days, it was said, long was it said, that the elven boat rode the falls and the foaming pool, and bore him down through Osgiliath and past the many mouths of Anduin, out into the great sea at night, under the stars. For a while the 3 companions remained silent, gazing after him. Then Aragorn spoke. "They will look for him from the White Tower," he said, "but he will not return from mountain or from sea." And then they all start to sing, or rather, Aragorn sings, Legolas sings, Aragorn sings. So they ended. Then they turned their boat and drove it with all the speed they could against the stream, but back to the way they came. And then they're discussing it that they know that Frodo's gone, that Sam, he would not be able to leave Sam behind. And they're saying, "Sam was right, I think. Frodo did not wish to leave any friend to death with him in Mordor, but he knew that he must go himself. Something happened after he left us that overcame his fear and doubt. He fled, certainly, but not, I think, from orcs." What he thought was the cause of Frodo's sudden resolve in flight, Aragorn did not say. The last words of Boromir he long kept secret. As we've been saying, I've been binge watching Bones, says Archer Collins 6339, so I don't want to think of what condition the body would be in after a couple of days. Yeah, indeed. Well, so much at least is now clear, said Legolas. Frodo is no longer on this side of the river, only he can have taken the boat, and Sam is with him. Only he would have taken his pack. Our choice, then, said Gimli, is either to take the remaining boat and follow Frodo, or else follow the orcs on foot. There is little hope either way. Let me think, said Aragorn. And now may I make a right choice and change the evil fate of this unhappy day. Yes, worst day ever. He stood silent for a moment. I will follow the orcs, he said at last. I would have guided Frodo to Mordor and gone with him to the end. But if I seek him now in the wilderness, I must abandon the captives to torment and death. My heart speaks clearly at last. The fate of the bearer is in my hands no longer. The company has played its part. Yet we that remain cannot forsake our companions while we have strength left. Come, we will go now. Leave all that can be spared behind. We will press on by day and dark. Dun, dun, dun. Indeed, indeed. Come, with hope or without hope. This is Aragorn speaking. We will follow the trail of our enemies, and woe to them if we prove the swifter. We will make such a chase as shall be accounted a marvel among the three kindreds, elves, dwarves, and men. Forth the three hunters. And like a deer, he sprang away. Through the trees he sped. On and on he led them, tireless and swift. Now that his mind was at last made up. Isn't that an awesome image? Isn't that an awesome image? Like a deer, he sprang, and they are going to run, and they are going to run, and they are going to run, and then they're going to run a little more. It's going to be so cool. So cool, as we all know. It will become legend. It will. It will indeed. So there it is. We have broken up the fellowship, February 26th. Man, it sucks. But it's great. I mean, it is poetic. It is perfection. So my review, I've said it before, I've said it again. I said it's about a 50 out of 10. Maybe it's a 500 out of 10. No one can write like Tolkien. No one can write fantasy like Tolkien. He is the man, the master. And this is making me have to read the whole thing again. Why? I've got so much to read. But you know what? I can keep reading because I can just do that. Yes, I can, precious. It is Aragorn finally locked in. Damn right. Damn right. Hell yes. They did it so well in the movie at that end. I mean, that's why I think just Fellowship of the Ring. Oh gosh, it's so darn good. Fellowship of the Ring also, in my opinion, is the one that stands alone in the theatrical version. We needed the extended ones for the Two Towers and the Return of the King for sure. But oh my goodness gracious. Your Barmy, he has gifted 10 Miss Martin Muses memberships. Thank you so much for your generosity and your generosity before. My goodness gracious. Let's see, who are the new members? And this is part of your perk. And again, my nephew is going to design something for me. And if he can't, my sister can. I'm not a very good visual artist. It is. Why? It is your Barmy. You received a gift membership from yourself. Tina Beeb, thank you for being here. You have a new member. Sporking's a new member. It's Working Newscast. We've been talking a lot about not a Song of Ice. Yes, a Song of Ice and Fire, but definitely United Seven Kingdoms. I have a video coming up about was Duncan actually knighted using the book? Using the book. Comic Sense QC. Did I say Warren Warshaw 7677? Andrew Broadbent 1206, Lily Hain Heffy, Tim Criddle 7360, T Car 8097, Logical Spark 3496. Thank you. My goodness gracious. So generous. So generous. And I will be putting this all together probably on the airplane. Understand that I'm doing a lot of work right now where I am, and it's hard for me to sit down and get all this together. But on an airplane, well, I get free Wi-Fi because I'm a snob and I always do. So here we go. We have Nordporial, a 750 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, you just can't. You just can't. Everybody, drop everything you're doing and reread this. You have till March 25th to get to the end of the destruction of the ring. March 25th, very important date. If you're using the ordinary Mass, the ordinary form of the Mass, that is the one of 2 times that you kneel at the Et Incarnatus Est. Good times. 750 out of 10. It is 2, 3, 4, and 5. The more you read, the more there is to read. Absolutely. And dang it, part of my Lent challenge is to read the Brothers Karamazov, however you pronounce it, by the way, which is excellent. Oh my gosh. The easiest thing I'm going to be reading is The Sworn Sword because it's only like 100 pages. Archer Collins 6339. I know what you mean, Teresa. Saw a video about Anne McCaffrey's unpublished Pern novel. Now I might have to go back and read the books again. Darn right. The movies, yes, they're good. And the orchestra, the tour is touring. right now where you can watch the Fellowship of the Ring with the movie screen being done, and rather, there's a movie screen at the symphony, and they are playing the music, a full symphony orchestra playing the score as you watch the movie. Do it. Do it. Also, read Author of the Century by Tom Shippey and other scholarly works by him. Let's see. Yeah, Fellowship is just so much variety. Like back in the Shire to Bree with the ring race to Balrog and all the character building for the next movies. Damn right. Yeah. And of course, in the books. I'm grateful to Rafe Juggins. I'm sorry. I'm grateful Rafe Juggins did not adapt Lord of the Rings. Can you imagine? Well, you know exactly what they would have done. Nothing Tolkien wrote should have been in it. No, 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 no. Would have been in it. Not at all. It would have been horrendous. Well, that it would not have been a friendship between Boromir and Aragorn. It would not have been a friendship between Frodo and Sam. And they would have totally gaslit us because remember when Aragorn kissed the brow of Boromir? Well, that just must mean they're gay because nobody can just be friends anymore on this planet. Eventually, I'm going to be maybe reviewing the Wheel of Time and stuff, but not today. Not I'm not going to be doing any hate watching. Nope, nope, nope. At least not till Easter when I'm feeling happier. Well, I'm feeling happy all the time, actually. I'm very, very blessed. And the weather is really good. So I think my weather is going to do very well. It's going to be a very late night for me, though, because I'm catching a late flight. I'm catching a red eye. But yeah, and I'm going to be doing a lot more traveling. It's going to happen. Don't think I'm going to make it to Ireland this year, though. Sorry, kids. Unless something changes. Stay tuned. It's a long one. Oh, I'm on chapter 9 of COT. Yes, because we got to finish it, dag nabbit. I beat ya. I beat ya. I finished it. It would have been that thing that rhymes with day. Yeah. Yes. It would have been happy. It would have been happy. All right. Speaking of which, I will get together the perks better. Maybe I can get my sister. I'm going to text her and then she can send it to me on the airplane. The flight over here, oh my gosh, it was insane because it was right after the Trial of Seven. So I didn't even watch any movies. I usually like to watch the movies on the airplane while I crochet. I didn't get anything done because I spent the whole time rewatching the Trial of Seven. Oh crap. Okay, there we go. Prophet of the Dragon. These are some of the perks that you get. You will be getting links. You will be getting links to your channel and to your X. I've got so many members now thanks to the generosity of people like your Barmy for giving gift memberships. Those of you that have just become members, and of course that's equally cool. But yes, I'm so blessed. Thank you so much. And yeah, Nordporial, you are a member here, so let me get you. And I already read out the members from today, the new members. You will get shout outs, etc., and emojis for 99 cents. I cannot offer anything else but early video. So you probably will getting the early video of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I plan to finish that one up tonight. I do have a short today to give you all a little bit of a spoiler. House of the Dragon is coming and it's completely horrendous. And I've been saying that they turned it into Wicked. If you've seen Wicked, the musical, of course, and then the movie, I talk about that in my short and show it. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Okay, Snorta Poopy's career here is on X. We have Deeple 101. We have Sean Sue and the ones from yesterday. And again, please bear with me, but this is the best way that I can give you all your memberships and your shout outs. And if you can see, I've been making Dunk his doll. The doll's coming along really well. I gave to my mother her Iron Throne with egg on it. I'll be putting that up. I made that for her. So we have Wolfram Head 79, Stunning and Brave Megatron, Terra Crystal, Punk Waddle, Rose Baggins, and oh gosh, yesterday I had a whole bunch more. Demogeny. I know that he became a member. Biggles Metz. Thank you very much, Biggles, for supporting the channel with the gift memberships and becoming it. Your Barmy. Oh, yeah, I already said your Barmy. Thank you very much. And let's see what else people are saying. Oh, wait, these are all the shout outs. Damn closest place to tour is going to be New York is Pittsburgh. Oh, okay. It's worth the travel if you can. Especially, I recommend it for folks who maybe don't appreciate classical music, and maybe that's the wrong word. People that appreciate it, but maybe get bored by it or don't know or need an introduction to it. Some of the best way to do that is to see this in the movie so you can see how a symphony orchestra works, and then just imagine reading the greatest music ever, ever made. Greatest, greatest ever made live, like Beethoven's Ninth and all of that. And why can't I? Oh, there's my total members. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wait, don't give it. I'm trying to do my shout outs. Okay. I just need to work it out. Why won't they total members? Who are my members? All right. I'll shout you all out. Don't worry. I will be fulfilling my duty because I just have so many new members and it's just such a blessing. I just thank you all so much. And thank you all for being here because if I didn't have you here commenting in the chat, you know what? It would just be me yapping. And you all are, I always say, each one of you is the third guest or the extra panelist. So thank you, your Barmy. Thank you, Norporeal. You've been here. We had Snortopupus Kubur. We had 2, 3, 4, and 5. We had see Archer Colin. Thank you for being here and for your commentary as always. Yeah, we're still in the crusades with my subs, so help me get higher up. We want to get to all the things that Archer Collins wants. PJ01961, thank you for being here. Who else do we have? Well, darn. I'll find it. Iron Faith Phil, thank you for being here. Anyone else? One Punch Man Tolkien fan? Indeed, indeed, indeed. And if you really, really want to have, well, besides The Lord of the Rings, which is unparalleled, hate those stupid things. I think it's just rage bait and clickbait. Which is better? Oh gosh, let's compare, the MCU to Tolkien. It's like, what? It's like, what? Or, Tolkien against Martin, which is silly. What's another one? Oh, the most ridiculous one that we're starting to see, the clickbait. They're starting to see the clickbait of trying to pit Narnia against the Lord of the Rings. It's like, really? Really? Yeah, I have no patience for that. It's all good. It's all good stuff. All right. So thank you very much. I'm feeling very overwhelmed with joy and with gratitude for all of you. So a lot of people here. Wait. Do I have it? Okay. All right. So I'll get your all's X's and I'll work it out probably on the airplane because once I'm done here, I do need to help my mama with a few things and then get ready to leave. Yeah. Take care, all. Thank you, your Barmy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, you are a member too, of course. So thank you. So appreciative. And I will definitely be keeping streaming. Likely the next one is going to be more of the Sworn Sword. Don't forget, I have not forgotten Wuthering Heights. What's the next date that's coming up in the fellowship? Well, we're now in the Two Towers because now we're in Lent. The fellowship leaves at Christmas. We're in Lent, and definitely, you can't unsee it. If you know the liturgical calendar, it's pretty cool. So it's a really cool way to do so. Oh, hell, I'll look it up. It's not here in my paperback. And I would be a liar if I said, oh my gosh, I have this all memorized. No, I do not. Because it's like trying to memorize the Bible, for crying out loud. Let's see. It's not to say it's better than the Bible, but it's a lot of stuff. So timeline, I'll say Lord of the Rings. Let's see what I can bring up here. I'm looking at Tolkien Gateway here. Yes, I am a human. Oh my gosh. Timeline of Aragorn, timeline of Frodo. No, I went the First War, the separation of Elmon from Middle-earth, Valinor, read full-time timeline. Well, I'm with the Third Age. Oh my gosh, isn't it terrible? Isn't it terrible what they have done with the Rings of Power? Oh my gosh. I mean, how can you read this and then come up with the Rings of Power? I mean, really. Oh, man. And if I had my wits about me and not had the surgery, we had to travel for the surgery, not mine. Um, I would have been able to read more of it. Yeah, we're in the third age. Yeah, 3021. I'll find it. Stay tuned. Yeah, man, he's 50 years old. My gosh. The next thing, see, Frodo meets Gollum and spares his life, February 29th. All right. Yeah, Sauron, of course, is defeated on March 25th. March 15th is the Battle of Pelennor Fields. Oh, how cool is that? March 3rd. Oh, hell, it's coming up. The Battle of Helm's Deep. Yes, and I'll tell you what, in the book, it is better. So probably look forward to the Battle of Helm's Deep. All right. Third Age of Mankind. Maybe I should plug the Babylon 5 stream. I'm privileged to be on Sundays. Oh, yay! And look who it is. It is Biggles Matt. Thank you for being here. He is a muser of House Rose. The Lord of the Rings is only surpassed by the Bible. Yes, definitely in popularity by being retardando. That is who created the Rings of Power. Indeed, indeed. We're going to make the book Tolkien didn't write. Meanwhile, I'm going to write the symphony Mozart never wrote. Genie Mac. Yeah, I'm going to write the mass setting that Palestrina never got around to. And while I'm at it, I'm going to write the Gregorian chant that... I can't even. Yeah, Guido d'Arezzo. I'm going to write another step on the solfege scale or something. Genie Mac. All right, so I gotta go. Thank you for everyone for being here. Thank you to all of my members. Thank you, all the super chat stickers, and thank you for going on this journey with me. We're going to talk about more positive things. I mean, isn't it great? I think the Night of the Seven Kingdoms really jump started us. I knew what was coming. I suspected it was going to be as good as it was because we knew it was going to be faithful, at least to season one. But when you read the Hedge Knight, I mean, that is so amazing. So amazing. Such an amazing book, such an amazing TV show with a few problems with it. I have the stream where I talk about it. Oh, and I always like to put out here, let me go ahead and do so before I quit you all. I need to remind you all that my Catholic material is now on a separate channel. I think I've always felt it's really more appropriate to separate it out considering what I muse upon. So it is called a separate Catholic Explained channel. I have nearly 900 subs. I just need some more watch hours. So if you all wouldn't mind maybe just going over there and running the clock or, watching. No, you're going to be actively watching. Wink, wink. Or if you like it, go ahead and check it out. Bye, all. Have a good flight. Miss Martin says, yes, I will. Maybe I'll send some pictures out on YouTube if they're cool. A first world problem. I'm on the less preferable side of the airplane, but beggars can't be choosers. So have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, and be certain to read the Lord of the Rings.